Are you curious about where danger could be lurking just around the corner? Whether you're facing tough terrains, harsh weather, or regions of conflict, our world is filled with places that can be risky for the daring explorer. From the blazing heat of Death Valley to the unpredictable peaks of active volcanoes, these spots offer more than just excitement. They put human endurance and survival to the test. Want to journey through the world's most hazardous spots? Or better yet, let's just explore these places in our seats. Then buckle up, because we're about to reveal the top 25 destinations that only the bravest adventurers dare to venture into. Number 1, North Sentinel Island, India. Did you know that North Sentinel Island is located in the Bay of Bengal and is part of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which are under Indian administration? It's home to the Sentinelese people, who are one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. They don't like outsiders coming onto their island and have been known to defend their territory with bows and arrows. Unfortunately, there have been some violent encounters in the past, like in 2006, when 2 fishermen who inadvertently drifted too close to the island were killed by the tribe, and in 2018 when a brave American missionary named Chow went to reach out to the Sentinelese people but tragically lost his life in the process. This sad event ended up shedding light on the beautiful island and its fascinating inhabitants. The Sentinelese haven't had much contact with the outside world, which means they are even more vulnerable to diseases. Something as simple as the flu or measles could be really dangerous for them, since they don't have immunity to these illnesses. The Indian government has put in place strong rules to protect both the Sentinelese people and any potential visitors. They have declared the island and its surrounding waters up to 5 nautical miles as off-limits. It's against the law to visit the island without special permission, which is hardly ever given. The exact number of Sentinelese individuals is not known, but it is thought to be between 50 and 200 people. The Sentinelese language remains a mystery to outsiders and does not have any known connections to other languages. Number 2, Oymyakon, Russia. Oymyakon is a small rural village in the Sakha Republic, Russia, way up in the northeastern part of the country. It's actually located within the Arctic Circle, sitting at about 750 meters above sea level. Can you believe it holds the record for the lowest temperature ever recorded outside Antarctica? That's why it's known as the coldest permanently inhabited human settlement on Earth. The coldest temperature ever recorded there was back in 1924. Just imagine, that's cold enough to freeze your eyelashes and eyebrows instantly. Because of the extreme cold, life in Oymyakon poses some unique challenges. Cars won't start and even ink can freeze. People in Oymyakon have to take special precautions to survive the harsh winters. Agriculture is almost impossible due to the permafrost, so the residents rely mainly on a diet of meat, and getting fresh produce and other food supplies can be pretty tough. Oymyakon, which means unfrozen water, is named after a nearby hot spring that doesn't freeze even in the extreme cold. In the winter, daylight can be as short as 3 hours, but in the summer you can enjoy up to 21 hours of daylight. Many locals make a living by herding reindeer, a traditional livelihood in the region. They wear traditional fur and skin clothing to stay warm in the harsh weather. Despite the cold, Oymyakon hosts winter festivals celebrating its unique culture and the resilience of its inhabitants. This town is often featured in the Guinness World Records for its extreme temperatures. Despite the freezing weather, Oymyakon attracts adventurous tourists looking to experience life in one of the coldest places on Earth. Number 3, Death Valley, Kamchatka, Russia. The Death Valley in Kamchatka, Russia is a unique spot with some interesting features. It's pretty small, just 2 kilometers long and 100 to 500 meters wide, nestled at the base of the Kikpinik volcano in the Kronotsky Nature Reserve. This valley stands out because while the area around it is bursting with life, the valley itself is a bit of a danger zone for unsuspecting animals and birds. The reason? A mix of poisonous gases that collect there, like hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. These gases are heavier than air, so they sink into the valley and stick around, making it hard for them to disperse in the wind. So any critters that wander in there can get overwhelmed by the fumes pretty quickly. In 1975, a volcanologist and a reserve ranger stumbled upon the valley, even though geologists had previously studied the area. It's a tricky place with pockets of concentrated gases lurking amongst seemingly safe surroundings. Despite its ominous name, Death Valley is actually part of a larger ecosystem that scientists are working hard to understand. They're also taking steps to protect the wildlife that calls the valley home. Park rangers make sure to remove the carcasses of animals affected by the gases, preventing bigger predators from falling into the same trap. Kamchatka's Death Valley serves as a powerful reminder of nature's force and the delicate balance of ecosystems. It might not be for everyone, but it's a fascinating spot that continues to intrigue scientists and explorers alike. Number 4, Danakil Desert, Ethiopia. Looking for an adventure that will get your heart pumping? Look no further than the Danakil Desert. Stretching over 136,000 square kilometers across Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Djibouti, this desert has a landscape that looks straight out of a science fiction movie, with Martian-like salt formations all around. Picture yourself standing under the scorching sun with salt dust on your lips and the air filled with dangerous sulfur vapors. Even just breathing can be risky in the Danakil Desert. Experts warn that a short visit to this extreme environment can have health consequences. And let's not forget about the intense heat. Temperatures often soar above 50 degrees Celsius during the day, making it one of the hottest and most desolate places on Earth. With only about 1 inch of rain per year, life in the Danakil Desert is a true test of survival. The Danakil Desert is also home to the Danakil Depression, one of the lowest spots on Earth. In 2016, scientists investigated whether tiny organisms could survive in the scorching hot water pools of this desert. Their findings could give insight into the potential for similar life forms on Mars. While these hardy organisms can handle extreme conditions, it's best to admire from a safe distance. The water here is as acidic as battery acid. The Danakil Desert is also volcanic, with a dormant volcano, Alaloo, and active ones like Dalol and Ertaal in the depression. The risk of eruptions definitely adds a thrill to any visit. Despite the risks, adventurous travelers flock to this area to experience its incredibly unique environment. Would you dare to visit the Danakil Desert? Number 5, Snake Island, Brazil. Have you heard of Snake Island? It's a tiny island just off the coast of São Paulo, Brazil, in the Atlantic Ocean. This place is known for one thing: its crazy amount of venomous snakes, specifically the golden lancehead pit viper. It's estimated that there are between 2,000 and 4,000 of these snakes on the island, which means there could be up to 5 snakes per square meter. With numbers like that, it's no wonder the Brazilian Navy has said no visitors are allowed except for approved scientific trips. These golden lanceheads are only found on Snake Island and nowhere else in the world. They're extra dangerous because their venom is super potent, up to 5 times stronger than their mainland relatives. Their venom works quickly and can cause some serious problems like kidney failure, tissue death, and in some cases, even death. So why are there so many snakes on this small island? Well, scientists think that when the sea levels rose about 11,000 years ago, Snake Island got isolated from the mainland. The snakes that got stuck there had no enemies and plenty of birds to munch on, so they thrived. Eventually, they got really good at hunting, which is why we now see a large number of vipers here today. Number 6, Red Sea Blue Hole. The Red Sea Blue Hole is a stunning underwater sinkhole located just a few kilometers north of Dahab, Egypt, along the beautiful coast of the Red Sea. This circular opening in the reef drops down to depths of over 328 feet, making it a popular spot for technical diving and free diving. While diving at the Blue Hole can be a thrilling experience, it's important to remember that safety always comes first. The hole itself is no more dangerous than other deep dives in the Red Sea. But there's a tricky section called the Arch to be mindful of. This submerged tunnel can be challenging to navigate, especially for less experienced divers, and has unfortunately been the site of some tragic accidents. One thing to watch out for when diving deep is nitrogen narcosis. This is a condition that can affect divers who breathe in compressed air at depths. It can lead to feelings of euphoria, confusion, and impaired judgment, which can be dangerous when underwater. If a diver ascends too quickly from a deep dive, they can get decompression sickness, also known as the bends. This is a serious condition that can cause bubbles of nitrogen to form in the bloodstream and tissues, which can damage the body. Number 7, Chernobyl, Ukraine. Chernobyl, Ukraine has become synonymous with the world's worst nuclear disaster. On April 26, 1986, a tragic reactor explosion at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant spread radioactive fallout far and wide, causing significant harm to both people and the environment. According to the World Health Organization, 31 deaths were directly caused by acute radiation sickness due to the disaster. The radioactive fallout from Chernobyl spread over a vast area in Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia, and its effects are still being felt today. Today, the city of Chernobyl is situated within the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, a vast 2,600 square kilometer area surrounding the power plant that remains mostly deserted due to radiation contamination. It serves as a solemn reminder of the disaster that unfolded decades ago. The once vibrant city of Pripyat, which used to be home to 50,000 residents, now stands empty and abandoned, frozen in time. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant is now shielded by a massive sarcophagus to prevent any further release of radioactive materials. Despite the haunting history of the exclusion zone, nature is slowly reclaiming the area. Wildlife is returning, and some plants and animals have adapted to the challenging conditions caused by high levels of radiation. It's a testament to the resilience of nature in the face of adversity. Number 8. Mount Everest, Nepal. Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in the world, standing tall at 8,848.86 meters above sea level. It straddles the border between Nepal and China in the Mahalangur Himal subrange of the Himalayas. Back in 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first people to successfully reach the summit of Everest. Since then, countless climbers have attempted the challenge, but unfortunately, many have lost their lives in the process. The harsh conditions on Everest, such as thin air, freezing temperatures, and unpredictable weather, make it an extremely risky expedition. At the top of Everest, the air pressure is only about 1/3 of what it is at sea level, making it hard to breathe and increasing the risk of altitude sickness, which can be fatal. The weather on the mountain can change in an instant, with blizzards, high winds, and avalanches posing serious threats. One particularly dangerous part of the climb is the Khumbu Icefall, a treacherous stretch of glaciers and icefalls. It's a challenging obstacle that climbers must navigate carefully to reach the summit safely. Did you know that Mount Everest has claimed the lives of over 340 climbers who tried to reach its summit or during their descent? In 1996, there was a devastating disaster where 15 people lost their lives on Everest, making it the deadliest single season on record. The combination of harsh weather conditions and overcrowding was a major factor in the tragedy. In 2014, a total of 16 Sherpas tragically lost their lives in an avalanche in the Khumbu Icefall. And in 2015, a powerful earthquake triggered an avalanche at Everest Base Camp, resulting in the loss of 19 lives. This incident, although not directly related to climbing, serves as a reminder of the dangers that surround the mountain. Number 9. Lake Natron, Tanzania. Lake Natron in Tanzania is like something out of a fantasy world. It's both strikingly beautiful and incredibly tough. This soda lake sits in the eastern part of the East African Rift Valley near Kenya and is known for its vibrant red waters. These waters are the result of a high mineral content and a unique ecosystem that thrives in the lake's extreme conditions. With water temperatures reaching a scorching 60 degrees Celsius and a pH level higher than even your strongest household cleaners, Lake Natron isn't exactly a cozy spot for most creatures. But don't be fooled by its harsh reputation. This lake is a haven for millions of lesser flamingos. These graceful birds flock here to make their nests on the soda islands that pop up during the dry season. In fact, Lake Natron is one of only 2 places in the entire East African Rift Valley where you'll find these flamingos settling down. So, while it may not be the most hospitable spot for your average critter, it's a paradise for these gorgeous pink birds. While the lake itself is deadly to most animals, the salt deposits along the shore can create a surreal landscape that looks like fossilized animals. These poor creatures were tricked by the shiny surface of the lake, thinking it was water, and sadly met their end in the harsh alkaline waters. Their bodies were turned into natural sculptures by the trona mineral. Because Lake Natron is located in a remote and challenging environment, it's not a well-known spot for tourists to visit. Number 10. Gates of Hell, Turkmenistan. Have you heard of the Gates of Hell, also known as the Darvaza gas crater? It's a fascinating natural gas field that collapsed into a cavern near Darvaza, Turkmenistan, the site of hundreds of natural gas fires lighting up the floor, and rim of the crater is truly spectacular, but also a bit dangerous. The crater is about 69 meters wide and 30 meters deep, and it has been burning non-stop since 1971. The whole fiery show started when Soviet geologists accidentally drilled into a natural gas cavern while searching for oil. The ground gave way beneath the drilling rig, creating the crater and releasing methane gas. To prevent the spread of poisonous gases, the geologists decided to set the gas on fire, thinking it would burn out in a few weeks. But here we are decades later, and the flames are still going strong. Despite its remote location in the Karakum Desert, the Gates of Hell has become quite a popular tourist spot in Turkmenistan. Visitors can even camp overnight near the crater, watching the flames dance against the night sky. It's definitely a sight to behold. But remember, the scorching heat and toxic fumes emanating from the crater make it too dangerous to approach the rim. Number 11. The Yungas Road, Bolivia. The Yungas Road, also known as North Yungas Road, earned the nickname the Death Road for good reason. Stretching 40 miles from the capital city of La Paz, Bolivia to Coroico in the Yungas region, this treacherous route was originally built in the 1930s by Paraguayan prisoners of war during the Chaco War. Meant for foot traffic, not the heavy vehicles that now traverse it, this road is just one lane wide in most parts, with sheer drops of thousands of feet on one side and no guardrails for most of the way. The Yungas Road is no walk in the park. Heavy fog, rain, landslides, and flowing waterfalls and streams can create dangerous conditions, making the road slippery and reducing visibility. To make matters even more nerve-wracking, the road used left-hand traffic, a rarity in Bolivia, because drivers preferred hugging the mountainside to avoid looking down the steep drop when facing oncoming vehicles. It's a challenging journey that demands focus and nerve, to say the least. Trucks, buses, bicycles, and cars all travel along this narrow road. Unfortunately, this mix of vehicles used to lead to a lot of accidents in the past. It's estimated that around 200 people died on this road each year in the 1990s. It's truly heartbreaking to think about all the lives lost on the Yungas Road. Along the way, you'll see touching makeshift memorials that families and friends have set up to remember those who passed away. But despite its dangers, the Yungas Road plays a vital role as an ecological corridor connecting the high Andes with the Amazon rainforest. This allows for the free movement of plants and animals between these unique ecosystems. And despite the risks, thrill seekers are drawn to the Yungas Road for its exciting mountain biking opportunities down the steep slopes. In 2006, a new, safer road was built to go around the most risky parts of the Yungas Road, making it safer for everyone. As a result, traffic and accidents on the old road decreased significantly. Now, the old Yungas Road has become a popular tourist spot, with professional tour guides offering safety tips and gear for visitors looking for an adventurous experience. Number 12. Mount Washington, USA. Mount Washington, situated in the picturesque White Mountains of New Hampshire, is a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts in the northeastern United States. It boasts a rich history, challenging weather conditions, and a plethora of outdoor activities to enjoy. Standing at an impressive 6,288.2 feet, it is not only the highest peak in the Northeast, but also the most topographically prominent mountain east of the Mississippi River. However, Mount Washington is also notorious for its extreme and unpredictable weather. In fact, it once held the world record for the highest wind speed ever directly observed by humans, a staggering 231 miles per hour on April 12, 1934. The summit can experience hurricane-force winds, heavy snowfall, and rapidly changing conditions, creating a challenging environment for hikers and climbers alike. The mountain's ever-changing weather is a big reason why it can be dangerous. One moment it's sunny, and the next moment you're in the middle of a blizzard. This sudden switch can catch hikers off guard and put them at risk of getting too cold, getting frostbite, or losing their way. The mountain's tricky layout can also cause unexpected gusts of wind known as pressure pockets, or draft zones, to pop up. These strong bursts of wind can knock hikers off balance or even lift them off their feet. Even though it's easy to drive or take a railway up to the summit, don't let that fool you. The weather up there can be much harsher than you might expect based on the conditions at the base. So if you're planning a visit to Mount Washington, be sure to come prepared for whatever Mother Nature may throw your way. Number 13. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast got its spooky name from all the shipwrecks and whale bones you can find scattered along the shore. This stretch of coastline in Namibia is both fascinating and a bit scary. The cold Benguela current and sudden storms make it a pretty unpredictable place. The Benguela Current not only brings cold water, but also a mysterious fog that can unexpectedly come and go. This fog has been a major factor in many shipwrecks, as it makes it difficult for sailors to see while navigating the dangerous coastline. Some of the notable shipwrecks include the Edward Boleyn, which lies stranded in the sand, and the Dunedin Star. The Skeleton Coast runs from the Kunene River in the north to the Swakop River in the south, spanning about 500 kilometers. You'll see a mix of sand dunes, gravel plains, mountains, and rocky outcrops in the landscape here. When the Namib Desert meets the Atlantic Ocean, it creates a truly special and dramatic setting. Over the years, many ships have met their end on this dangerous coastline. The wrecked ships serve as a spooky reminder of just how powerful nature can be. In addition to shipwrecks, the Skeleton Coast is also home to the bleached bones of whales and seals. These marine animals either succumbed to the harsh environment or were hunted by whalers in the past. Despite these challenges, the coast is teeming with marine life just offshore. Although the Skeleton Coast briefly experienced a diamond rush in the early 20th century, the diamond fields were quickly exhausted, and the difficult conditions made large-scale mining operations unfeasible. Number 14. Drake Passage. The stretch of water known as the Drake Passage, which covers about 800 kilometers between the southern tip of South America and Antarctica, is considered to be one of the trickiest sea routes in the world. This is due to its unpredictable weather and strong currents, both of which are influenced by the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, which is the most powerful ocean current globally. The passage is famous for its massive waves, some of which can reach heights of over 12 meters. It's a narrow spot where the cold waters of the Southern Ocean clash with the warmer waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, leading to rapidly changing and often volatile weather conditions. Thanks to the frequent gale-force winds that blow through the area, the Drake Passage is always challenging even for seasoned sailors. The lack of significant land masses between South America and Antarctica means that there are no barriers to block the wind and waves, making the conditions even rougher. Moreover, the presence of icebergs and sea ice can make the voyage through the Drake Passage even riskier for sailors. Both past and recent events serve as reminders of the perils of navigating these waters. For example, the MS Explorer, an Antarctic cruise ship, tragically collided with an iceberg and sank in 2007. This incident highlighted the dangers of ice in the area. In 2009, the Ocean Nova ship ran aground with 104 passengers and crew on board, fortunately without any injuries, but showcasing the challenging conditions of the region. The SV Concordia, a Canadian tall ship, also fell victim to severe weather and capsized in 2010, forcing the crew to spend over 40 hours in lifeboats before being rescued. These unfortunate occurrences serve as a testament to the ongoing difficulties of crossing the Drake Passage, despite the advancements in navigation and safety technology. It goes to show that this passage remains a formidable and hazardous route, which puts to the test the endurance, skills, and preparedness of those who brave its waters. Number 15. Bikini Atoll, Marshall Islands. Bikini Atoll, located in the beautiful Marshall Islands in the Pacific Ocean, is known for its stunning natural beauty and rich history, especially its connection to nuclear testing. The atoll is made up of 23 charming islands surrounding a central lagoon, famous for its pristine beaches, crystal clear waters, and diverse marine life, making it a top choice for scuba diving enthusiasts. However, Bikini Atoll also has a dark side with its lingering nuclear contamination. From 1946 to 1958, the United States conducted 23 nuclear tests on the atoll, including the powerful Castle Bravo hydrogen bomb test in 1954, which resulted in a massive explosion and widespread radioactive fallout. As a result, the area is still unsafe for long-term living due to severe radioactive contamination. The original inhabitants of Bikini Atoll were forced to leave their homes multiple times because of nuclear testing. Even though there have been efforts to clean up the mess left behind, Bikini Atoll is still not safe for people to live in. It's still contaminated with dangerous radioactive materials like cesium-137, which can seriously harm anyone who comes into contact with it. Bikini Atoll's story shows us just how destructive nuclear weapons can be and the ongoing risks of nuclear contamination. Despite all this, it's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, serving as a powerful reminder of the dangers of nuclear testing. Number 16. Mount Marpe, Indonesia. Mount Merapi, found on the border of central Java and Yogyakarta in Indonesia, is known as one of the world's most active and dangerous volcanoes. It stands tall at around 2,930 meters and is part of the Pacific Ring of Fire, which is famous for its frequent and intense volcanic activity. The eruptions of Mount Merapi happen roughly every 4 to 5 years and bring about significant risks due to pyroclastic flows, lava domes, and ash clouds. These eruptions are especially concerning because of the densely populated areas surrounding the volcano, where thousands of people live in its vicinity. In 2010, there was a major eruption that caused over 350 fatalities and forced the evacuation of nearly 400,000 residents. Pyroclastic flows, which are fast-moving streams of hot gas and volcanic material, are especially dangerous as they can destroy everything in their path. Mount Merapi is always a bit on edge due to its ongoing volcanic activity and the possibility of sudden dramatic eruptions. To make things even more risky, heavy rains can mix with volcanic ash and create lahars, which are like rivers of mud that can flow down the mountain and cause a lot of damage. Number 17. Fraser Island, Australia. Fraser Island, found off the eastern coast of Queensland, Australia, is the largest sand island globally and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This captivating island is famous for its diverse ecosystems featuring beautiful beaches, crystal clear lakes, and ancient rainforests growing on sand. Although the beaches are stunning, it's best to avoid swimming in the ocean due to strong rip currents, powerful waves, and hidden sandbars that can be dangerous for swimmers. Keep in mind that the waters surrounding Fraser Island are home to sharks, including great white and bull sharks. During the summer, you may also encounter marine stingers like bluebottles, so be cautious while swimming. Fraser Island is teeming with wildlife, including the curious and bold dingoes and wild dogs that call the island home. While it's rare for dingoes to attack, it's important to keep a safe distance from them and refrain from feeding these animals. Although the expansive sand dunes on Fraser Island may look like a fun spot to explore, they can actually be quite dangerous. Some visitors underestimate how tough it is to walk through deep sand and end up feeling tired and dehydrated. Plus, there are freshwater lakes with hidden drop-offs that may look shallow but are actually deep. Exploring Fraser Island often means driving a four-wheel drive vehicle on sandy terrain. Make sure you know how to handle these vehicles on the sand and stick to the speed limits. New drivers might find sudden washouts and soft sand patches challenging. Since medical facilities are limited on Fraser Island, it's important to be prepared with basic first aid supplies and emergency communication tools. Number 18. Red Triangle. The Red Triangle is a marine region off the northern coast of California, delineated by 3 geographic points: Bodega Bay to the north, the Farallon Islands to the west, and Monterey Bay to the south. The Red Triangle is renowned for its dense population of great white sharks. This high concentration of apex predators is primarily due to the abundance of their natural prey, marine mammals such as seals and sea lions, which thrive in this region. The Farallon Islands in particular serve as a major feeding ground for these sharks, attracting them in large numbers. Did you know that the Red Triangle is responsible for many shark attacks in the United States? According to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, most shark attacks in the state happen within this area. Even though shark attacks on humans are quite rare compared to other dangers, the Red Triangle's large population of great white sharks raises the chances of encountering them, making it one of the most dangerous places for activities like surfing, swimming, and diving. Red Triangle is home to large populations of seals and sea lions. These adorable marine mammals not only attract great white sharks, but they also make the marine environment dynamic and sometimes unpredictable. It's common to see them venturing close to shore, bringing their natural predators along, which can increase the risk of human-shark interactions. On top of that, the waters in the Red Triangle are pretty chilly, often colder than what most swimmers and surfers are used to. The region is known for its rough ocean conditions, with strong currents and large waves that can be dangerous for water enthusiasts. When you combine all of these factors, it significantly raises the risk of accidents and injuries in this area. In the Red Triangle, there have been several shark attack incidents that have made this area notorious for being dangerous. Take, for instance, the tragic shark attack on surfer Barry Wilson near Pacific Grove in 1952, as well as the attack on swimmer Shirley Ann Durden at Pea Soup Beach in 1985, both by great white sharks. These incidents, along with others, serve as a reminder of the risks involved for those who choose to swim or surf in these waters. Number 19, Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle, can be found in the Pacific Ocean near the Japanese island of Miyake, which is about 100 kilometers south of Tokyo. It's like a triangle between Japan, the Bonin Islands, and a point in the Pacific north of Guam. People often talk about the Devil's Sea in the same breath as the Bermuda Triangle because of all the strange things that have happened there, like ships and planes disappearing without a trace, ghost ships, weird lights, and equipment acting up. Some folks think there's something spooky going on, which adds to the area's reputation as a dangerous and mysterious place. There have been some spooky incidents in the Devil's Sea over the years that have made it even more famous. One of the most well-known stories is about the Japanese research boat Kaiyomaru no 5 vanishing in 1953 with all 31 crew members on board. This event made the Japanese government warn people that the area was risky to travel through. The Devil's Sea is known for its mysterious reputation, often thought to be a result of supernatural forces. However, scientific studies offer a more realistic explanation for the dangerous occurrences in the area. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and unpredictable ocean conditions are believed to be the main reasons for the perilous nature of the region. In Japanese folklore, the Devil's Sea is linked to ancient tales of dragons and sea monsters, which have been shared through generations. These stories contribute to the view of the area as a mysterious and risky place, adding to its allure and intrigue. Number 20. Pool of Death or Queen's Bath, Hawaii. Queen's Bath, also known as the Pool of Death, is a gorgeous natural tide pool located in Princeville on the north shore of Kauai, Hawaii. This stunning pool is carved out of lava rock and fills with water from the Pacific Ocean during high tides and ocean swells. Visitors are drawn to the clear turquoise waters of Queen's Bath, where they can swim in a natural ocean pool surrounded by unique lava rock formations. The view of the coastline and nearby waterfalls adds to the beauty of this picturesque spot. Although Queen's Bath looks peaceful, it can be quite dangerous. The nickname Pool of Death comes from the powerful ocean swells that can sweep over the rocks and into the pool without warning. These swells have the potential to pull swimmers out to sea or cause serious injuries. Swimming at Queen's Bath can be risky due to the rough seas and strong currents. The changing conditions can overwhelm even strong swimmers, making it hard to escape the pool. The rocks are slippery, increasing the risk of falls, which can result in severe injuries. Falling into the pool during rough conditions can be life-threatening. Unfortunately, the area has a reputation for being dangerous, with numerous fatal accidents and injuries. Tourists, especially those unfamiliar with the risks, are urged to be cautious. Local authorities often issue warnings and advisories advising visitors to stay away during periods of high surf. And we're on to our last top 5 of dangerous places around the world. But first, do us a huge favor. If you found this video to be helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, please consider giving it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe to the channel too. It's completely free and your support is truly appreciated. Number 21, the Great Blue Hole. Have you been to the amazing Great Blue Hole off the coast of Belize? It's this massive marine sinkhole with the most beautiful deep blue color. It stands out against the lighter turquoise waters of the surrounding reef. People from all over the world flock to this famous dive spot to explore crystal clear waters, unique rock formations, and diverse marine life. The Great Blue Hole has an interesting origin story. It formed during a time when sea levels were much lower due to glaciation. Picture this. It used to be a limestone cave that eventually flooded and collapsed as the ocean levels rose. And now we have this incredible sinkhole to marvel at. The vertical walls and intricate stalactites and stalagmites offer a peek into the Earth's geological past. The Great Blue Hole is absolutely stunning, but it's important to remember that it can also be quite dangerous for a few reasons. First off, it's incredibly deep, plunging down over 400 feet to its lowest point. This depth requires specialized diving skills and equipment to ensure a safe dive. Your regular recreational diving certification won't cut it for this challenging adventure. Because of the extreme depth, divers must ascend slowly and make decompression stops to avoid decompression sickness, also known as the bends. This condition can be serious and even fatal if not managed properly. At these depths, the nitrogen in your breathing gas can have a similar effect to being drunk, potentially impairing judgment and coordination. This increases the risk of accidents, so it's crucial to dive cautiously. The blue hole is also connected to a network of underwater caves, which are best explored by trained cave divers. Getting lost or trapped in these caves is a real risk, so it's important to have the right skills before diving in. Number 22. Namibian magic circles. In the Namib Desert of Namibia, you can find Namibian magic circles, also called fairy circles. These are strange patches of bare ground that are unique to this region. You won't see them anywhere else on our beautiful planet. When you stumble upon them, you'll see circles of dead grass with a ring of taller, greener grass surrounding them. Their mysterious origins have fascinated people for ages. They appear in a regular hexagonal pattern across the landscape, creating a polka-dotted appearance when viewed from above. Although scientists have conducted extensive research on fairy circles, the exact cause of these mysterious phenomena continues to spark debate and intrigue. One popular theory suggests that subterranean termites, specifically the species Samotermes aloceros, play a role in creating the circles by feasting on plant roots and forming water reservoirs underground. This reservoir then nourishes the surrounding vegetation, leading to the distinctive ring formation. Another hypothesis proposes that the circles are a result of plants competing for scarce water resources in the dry environment. According to this idea, plants organize themselves in a way that maximizes their access to water, resulting in bare patches surrounded by lush vegetation. In local folklore and legends, fairy circles are often attributed to supernatural beings such as gods, spirits, or even dragons. These mystical explanations add an extra layer of fascination to the scientific study of these natural wonders. The enchanting allure of the fairy circles is a must-see for travelers and photographers from all corners of the globe. Yet, visiting these unique formations can pose some challenges due to their remote location in the unforgiving Namib Desert. Temperatures in this desert can soar well above 38 degrees Celsius, so staying hydrated is crucial. Although rare, unexpected downpours can cause flash floods in the desert, so it's important to be prepared. The Namib Desert is also home to various wildlife, including scorpions, snakes, and other potentially dangerous animals. Number 23. Bloodfalls in Antarctica. Have you heard about Bloodfalls? It's a stunning waterfall in the McMurdo Dry Valleys of East Antarctica. Despite its name, the water isn't actually blood. It's a unique, iron-rich, salty brine solution that flows from the Taylor Glacier onto Lake Bonny. This creates a striking red color in the water, thanks to the formation of iron oxides when the ferrous iron in the ancient water beneath the glacier reacts with oxygen. Let's take a closer look at the science behind this fascinating natural phenomenon. The red water originates from a subglacial lake beneath the glacier, which likely dates back millions of years to when the area was covered by the ocean. This ancient water is high in iron and salt content. When the iron-rich brine meets the oxygen in the air, chemical reactions occur that change the ferrous iron to ferric iron. This oxidation process is what gives the water its distinctive reddish hue. It's a truly mesmerizing sight that showcases the incredible processes at work in our natural world. The brine under the glacier that feeds Bloodfalls is super salty and packed with iron. This can lead to equipment rusting and health issues if not handled properly. Although Bloodfalls itself isn't inherently dangerous, its home in Antarctica is known for being one of the toughest environments on Earth. Antarctica holds the record for the coldest temperatures ever recorded, regularly dropping below -50 degrees Celsius. This extreme cold can lead to frostbite and hypothermia in no time at all. Not to mention, blizzards with fierce winds are a common occurrence in this icy continent. This remote and extreme environment is considered one of the coldest and driest places on Earth, with temperatures often plummeting well below freezing. Number 24. Catatumbo Lightning. Catatumbo Lightning is no ordinary sight. It's one of the most dangerous natural phenomena out there. From its frequent strikes to its intense power, this lightning is not something to mess with. You can find Catatumbo Lightning dancing over the Catatumbo River, where it meets Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela. The southwestern part of the lake is especially famous for its constant lightning storms. What makes Catatumbo Lightning so special is its almost non-stop strikes in one concentrated area. Picture this: 260 nights a year for up to 10 hours each night, with an average of 280 strikes per hour. Talk about a light show. This makes Catatumbo one of the busiest lightning spots on Earth. With all these strikes happening, it's no wonder that this region is a hotspot for lightning. Several factors play into why this area sees such a high frequency of lightning. The landscape in this region, which includes the Andes Mountains, the Catatumbo River, and Lake Maracaibo, creates the perfect conditions for lightning to form. When warm, moist air from the Caribbean Sea mixes with cooler air from the Andes, it creates powerful convection currents. The unique weather patterns in the area, such as high humidity and thermal instability, promote the growth of intense thunderstorms. Local wind patterns and the large surface area of Lake Maracaibo also contribute to the strength of these storms. Unfortunately, there have been many cases of people and animals being struck by lightning in this region, resulting in serious injuries or even death. While these incidents may not always make the news, the local communities are well aware of the dangers, especially during peak lightning seasons. Number 25, boiling river in the Amazon region. Have you heard about the incredible boiling river in the Amazon? It's located in Peru and is known by the locals as Shanay Timpishka, which translates to boiled with the heat of the sun in their language. This river is truly unique because its water can reach scorching temperatures of up to 93 degrees Celsius in some areas, which can be dangerous for anyone who comes in contact with it. The river is hot enough to cause severe burns or even death in a matter of seconds. Accidental falls or slipping into the river could be fatal. Exploring the river can be tricky, as the riverbed might be bumpy and have surprising hot spots and unpredictable currents. This can make it hard to tell how deep or how warm the water is, which can lead to unexpected encounters with really hot water. Scientists believe that this intense heat is caused by geothermal activity deep within the earth, where water is heated by volcanic activity and then flows into the river. Because of its extreme conditions, the boiling river is a popular research spot for biologists studying extremophiles, organisms that thrive in extreme environments. Exploring the boiling river can be quite a challenge because of its secluded spot and intense environment. It's definitely not your typical tourist hotspot.